Picture two brothers. In 1990, each one inherits $50,000. The careful brother does the thing everyone praises. He keeps it safe. Cash, a savings account. No risk, no drama, no sleepless nights. He sleeps like a baby for 35 years. The other brother does something that felt almost reckless at the time. He puts the whole $50,000 into a boring fund that just owns the entire stock market, and then he basically forgets about it. Today, the careful brother still has his money. Almost exactly $50,000, plus a little interest. And here's the part nobody warned him about. That money now buys less than half of what it could the day he saved it. He didn't lose a single dollar on paper. He lost half his wealth anyway. His brother, the reckless one? His $50,000 grew into well over $1 million. Same start, same country, same 35 years. One brother chose safe, and safe ate his money in plain sight and never once sent him a bill. Quick note before we go further. This is education, not financial advice. And the numbers here are strange, because the safest feeling choice in all of personal finance is also one of the most expensive. Here's the belief we all grow up with. Cash is safe. The stock market is a casino. Real, sensible people keep their money in the bank, where the number can't go down, and that belief is half true, which is exactly what makes it dangerous. Because there are two kinds of risk, and we only ever worry about one of them. The first risk is the one you can see. Your investment falls. The number on the screen goes red. It feels like losing. We hate it, and we run from it. The second risk is the one nobody warned you about. Your money stays exactly the same, but the world around it gets more expensive year after year, and your safe pile buys less and less every single year. The number on your screen never moves, so no alarm ever goes off. And that is exactly what makes it so dangerous. It drains your wealth in broad daylight and calls it safety. That second risk has a name: inflation. And for anyone holding cash, it is not a maybe. It is a guarantee. Let's put real numbers on it, because this is where it stops being a feeling. Right now, the average savings account in America pays you somewhere around 0.5% a year. Some of the biggest, most famous banks pay as little as 0.4%. Meanwhile, prices over the last year have been rising by more than 4%. Sit with that gap. Your money earns you 0.5%. The world gets 4% more expensive, which means every single year you hold that cash, you're losing around 3 or 4% of what it can actually buy, guaranteed. Risk-free loss, in the one place you were told carried no risk, and this is the good version, a single year. Zoom out, and it gets brutal, because inflation compounds just like interest does, just in the wrong direction. Take the dollar. $1 in 1970 buys you about 12 cents of stuff today. Read that again. The safe dollar has lost almost 90% of its power in a single lifetime. If your grandparents had stuffed $100,000 into the mattress in 1970, you would open that mattress today and find something with the buying power of maybe $12,000. Every single bill is still there, and inflation has drained the wealth right out of them. That is the trick of inflation. It never takes your dollars. It just makes them smaller, year after year, until one day you look up and half of it is gone. Now, I can hear the pushback, but rates went up. I moved my money to a high-yield savings account. I'm getting 4% now. Problem solved. I love that you did that, and you should. Getting 4% instead of 0.4% is a huge upgrade. And if your cash is sitting in a big bank account earning nothing, you are leaving free money on the table right now. But look closer, because 4% is not the win it feels like. If your savings pays 4% and prices rise 4%, you are, at best, standing still. You're running just to stay in the same place, and then the taxman arrives. That 4% of interest? In most cases, it's taxable income. After tax, your real return, what you actually gained in buying power, can slip below zero again. A high-yield account is a much better seat. It's still on the same slow-sinking ship. So, here's the honest, bigger picture. Over the long run of history, Cash has been one of the worst places to keep money you don't need soon. In the best long-term studies, safe government savings have earned you only about 2.5% a year after inflation, and everyday bank accounts, far less than that, often nothing at all. Stocks, over those same 200 years, earned close to 7% a year after inflation. That gap, roughly 7% versus roughly 0, is the real price of safe. It doesn't show up as a loss. It shows up as a life that could have been very different. The retirement that arrived a decade early, the house you could have bought, all of it traded away for the comfort of a number that never went down. Which raises the real question. If cash is such a slow, guaranteed loser, why do so many smart people keep almost everything in it? And the answer isn't stupidity, it's wiring. We are built to feel a loss about twice as hard as we feel a gain. A crash that cuts your investment by 20% feels like an emergency, even if it recovers a year later. But losing 3% of your buying power every year, forever, that barely registers. One pain is loud and short, the other is steady and permanent, and we run straight toward the steady one because it never hurts in the moment. The finance world is happy to let you. Your cash sitting in a low-paying account is not a problem for the bank, it's the product. They pay you almost nothing and lend it out for much more. Your fear of the visible risk is funding someone else's return. Now, before this turns into cash is stupid, put everything in stocks. Stop, because that would be its own dangerous lie, and the honest other side matters. Cash is not the enemy. Cash held for the wrong job is the enemy. There is money that absolutely belongs in a safe, boring account, and being fully invested there would be reckless. Your emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses that need to be there the day the car dies or the job disappears. That money's job is not to grow. Its job is to exist in full on the worst day of your year. You never gamble that. Money you need soon. A house deposit for next year. A wedding. Tuition. Anything you'll spend within the next 2 or 3 years has no business in the stock market, because the market can fall 30% right when you need it, and it recovers eventually is useless if you had to sell on Tuesday. For short-term money, the stability of cash isn't a weakness, it's the whole point. So this was never cash bad, stocks good. The real lie is subtler. The lie is that cash is safe for all money forever. It isn't. Cash is the perfect tool for the money you need soon, and a slow, guaranteed trap for the money you don't. So here's what you actually do with this. First, give every pile of money a job and a time. Money for this year, money for the next few years, money you won't touch for a decade or more. Once each pile has a job, the right home for it becomes obvious, and you stop letting your 10-year money rot in a 1-year account. Second, protect your short-term money properly, but stop oversaving into cash. Keep your emergency fund and your soon money in the best-paying safe account you can find, not the big bank account paying 0.4% while inflation eats 4%. That difference is free, and it's yours for a 5-minute transfer. Third, and this is the hard one, let your long-term money actually take the risk it's supposed to take. Money you won't need for 10, 20, 30 years should not be hiding in cash, shrinking a little more every year. Its job is to grow, and it needs time and the market to do it. The volatility you're scared of is the price of admission, and history has paid that ticket back many times over for the people who stayed in their seats. And fourth, learn to think in real terms, not the number on the screen, the buying power behind it. A 5% savings rate in a world of 7% inflation is a loss, no matter how nice the number looks. Once you see money this way, the safe account stops feeling safe. It starts feeling like a slow leak you finally noticed. One line to take with you. Inflation is a tax you pay for feeling safe, and cash held too long is the most patient thief in finance. It never takes your dollars. It just waits and takes what they can buy. The careful brother did everything he was told. He kept it safe, and safe is exactly what cost him half of it. Now the math is yours, which means the word safe needs a much better definition than the number didn't move. If this made you see your savings account a little differently, subscribe. Next time, we take apart another comfortable story the money world sells you. And tell me below, how much of your money is sitting in cash right now, doing nothing? Be honest. I read every comment.